Hello and welcome to my stream. Tonight we play more of Golden Sun. And yesterday, finally, the second lighthouse, Venus Lighthouse, is over. And it was like an eternity, right? Especially because of the puzzles, but also maybe because of my lack of attention, distraction, or I don't know, missed opportunities of like testing something out and then I skipped it, I forgot about it, or I didn't realize it. Because overall speaking, the puzzles weren't that bad, but I was kinda, getting lost or overthinking a lot, and then I was missing some details that were major, and that made me very stuck. But after crossing the puzzles, climbing the lighthouse, at the top of it we have finally met again the villains, which were Menardi, Saturos, and also they did have the kidnapped uh, child from Suhala and Lalivero, right, which was Shiba. And also there was Felix in there, and Felix really wanted to protect Shiba. He even kind of fought Menardi and Saturos because Menardi and Saturos were planning to bring Shiba to another lighthouse, the Jupiter one, because they would need a wind slash electric adept to open the path for them in there, right? As they are fire adepts. And it seems like in their group there is no wind slash electric or lightning adept. But yes, they had an argument in there. They were kind of fighting and discussing. But in the end, we were getting there at that moment. And Menardi and Satros decided to fight us together. And it was a very tough fight. Thank goodness I was able to come up with a strategy during it, which was by using the genie flash that had a very good protection against their attacks that were very strong. And yeah, we were able to win after like a long fight, but sadly there was a round two that I was not expecting. That round two showed us that they can fuse together, and they are weirder characters than I was thinking because they also turned into a dragon after fusing. It was a very hard again fight and also very, weird situation. And at the end of that fight, after we were able to beat them as well with the same strategy, they were kind of. I'm not sure if they died. Like, they were very weak after that. They were surprised that we were able to beat them because Felix noticed how strong we were, and then he even said that he wouldn't be able to beat Isaac if we could beat those two because he knew how strong they were, and indeed they were like a very hard foe or like very hard foes. But yes, we beat them. Thank goodness, because I didn't want to, I don't know, redo that fight or like redo the dungeon or anything. Thank goodness it was first try in the end. I was even suspecting it could have been the end of the game, but it seems that it's not. It seems that maybe this game will indeed complete this whole situation about the four lighthouses before jumping into the sequel, right? As I have never played this, I'm not sure. But after that fight, there was more going on, and I'll be talking to the villagers of Lalivero now, seeing what do they have to say, and probably take some time doing some exploration instead of continuing the progression, because the progression has happened a lot. And yeah, I think we can kind of take a break from that right now, right? But that was not all, right? After we beat them, and I thought they died because they even fell in a hole after the Venus Lighthouse was activated, releasing a lot of power and everything. Felix was with Shiba because he wanted to save her, but Shiba was kinda hanging on the wall of the tower that was collapsing, and sadly she ended up falling, right? And Felix decided to jump as well, trying to grab her or something in the air. And then we don't know what happened to them. It sounds like they fell in the sea or in the ocean, and most likely they are alive. These games kind of like to fool you, to make you think that they died but they haven't died, something like that. So I do think they will reappear later on. And I also don't think that Menardi and Cetros died either. But it was a very weird situation with all of those people. Thank goodness we also were saved, but the game did not explain how could we get out of the top of the lighthouse. It was like pretty much some strange energy that stopped the tower from collapsing completely, and then we were able to be rescued. Anyway, it was a very weird moment in the game. But now, like I said, I do wanna take some time, talk to the villagers, see if I can solve some more puzzles, but not for progression. Also because I'm kinda hoping we can get a transportation or like a ship, right, to kinda travel in an easier way around the world. That's how it looked like it would happen. Thanks to Iodem and also Babby, I think those two will give us that ship and then we might be able to travel in an easier way. And then I will be doing the exploration. Hi Piero, what's up man? How's it going? So that's the plan for the night. Let's see if I can solve some of those puzzles that I left behind or maybe even find more of them. But I gotta say that I'm really hoping that today's stream lasts less than last stream because yesterday I was not expecting all of that lighthouse to take 7 hours, right? Today I want something shorter, something more chill because that was like a lot that happened. But I'm very happy it was over though because it was a very hard moment for me to complete, right? Both the puzzles and the battles. The battles were also very tough. But let's go for it. So my last save file in here is this one in Lalivero. Yeah, I need to talk to everybody again. Probably everyone is sad and depressed because Shiba disappeared or is missing, or even died. But I do think that Felix saved her in the last minute, right? You are doing well. You are having a couple minutes before a creative event you are participating in. How is that going to be like? Creative event? Is it about programming, games, or something like that? Nice to see you too. And speaking of which, how has been your gaming development and all of that? I'm guessing it is something about gaming, but maybe it is something more vague than that, right? Maybe it is just, I don't know, some sort of exposition of different pieces of art. You know, it doesn't necessarily need to be about games, but maybe some other sorts of, I don't know, art indeed, like cultural things. Because you said creative event, I wasn't sure like which section of creativity, right? It could be painting, it could be sports, it could be so many things. But it is programming, so I was right. Making games in making games in 1 hour, man? Alright, now I get why it is especially creative, right? Because you gotta have an idea very quickly and then execute it. Is it some sort of competition or is it just for fun? I don't usually finish it in 1 hour. I imagine, like, it's probably something that demands way more time, right? But we have fun and learn a lot. Oh, it is just for fun with friends. Okay, it's better that way without, like, a big pressure, right? I see. And are you trying to brainstorm already? Like, to have some ideas on which game you are trying to create in 1 hour? Or are you still, I don't know, without knowing what to do? And is it like... Okay, maybe here's the thing though. Because you only have 1 hour, probably it is a group that will develop the game under that time versus another group, right? Maybe it is not just you doing it, because at first I was thinking, oh, is it only you doing it? So it's going to be very hard to do it in 1 hour, right? But if you are in a group, then it's a little bit easier. No, just kind of hear the topic of the week, and then we try to throw something together. Oh, okay, that makes it more challenging then. Yeah, if you guys also don't know what is it about, and then it's only going to be revealed at the beginning of it, yeah, it is a big challenge. But it sounds fun, and it's good to be challenged, right? Maybe you can really end up surprising yourself with like, oh my god, I did get a great idea for this. But yeah, man, I wish you good luck when it starts. But have you also been working on other games without this one event? Probably, right? Weren't you doing some sort of math game last time we talked? I kind of think that was what we were working at. Yeah, that's why you like it. You come up with lots of ideas that you can work on. Yeah, maybe some of them you can even try them out after that 1 hour, right? You can try them out, I don't know, along the year or throughout the year. Please wait for me outside of Farron's house. I wish to speak with you. So Farron was the leader or the ruler of Lalivero, right? And Babi is the ruler of Toby. And then this is Iodem, which is like an assistant or, I don't know, Babi's protector of some sort. Oh yeah, now I need to go back to mind read. As we are going to have a lot of NPCs interactions, we gotta read their minds. Who has that? It's Ivan, right? There we go. I must explain their promise to Lord Babi before it's too late. Wait, their promise? Which promise? Is it a peaceful promise? Because Lalivero and Toby were kinda under some conflict thanks to the kidnapping of Shiba that now is either missing, disappeared, or dead even, right? But I don't remember what is this promise he's talking about. Oh, you did finish the math game? For now at least? It is on the website called itch.io. Okay, that's a very good website for independent games, right? It is very confusing though. Wait, do you mean the game or do you mean the website? I'm guessing you mean the website. And now you're working on a big artistic game right now as your long-term project. Oh, the game is very confusing. Probably you did tell me something about it before, but would you mind telling me more so I can kinda see why is it confusing? Like, how does it play exactly? I wanna talk to this guy too, can I? Oh, there we go. You will find Jenna someday, farewell. Okay, I regret talking to him because Jenna is my least favorite character of this entire playthrough. So I don't wanna find Jenna someday. I don't wanna find Jenna at all. If I could, like, use the words he said right there in a different way, I would say say farewell to Jenna. You know, that's what I want to happen. So there are more people like Isaac and his friends in Angara. Angara is our home continent, right? If only I were a little younger, I would go to Angara. You can still go there, what are you saying? You can go there, aren't you alive? There are ways for you to go there, come on, just I don't know, save some time, wait for your vacation, and then spend your vacation there. I would describe it as a studying tool for trigonometry, more so than a game. Okay, trigonometry is not that easy, right? But it was made in a game engine. I see, but it still sounds like great to help the students, right? That are learning trigonometry. I did play some very old teaching games. I'm not sure if that's a good way to say it, but I think it works. Teaching games, right? Or games that help you to learn something. And yes, there was this one game I played as a kid in the school's computers that you controlled a turtle, and the turtle had like a pen, right, on its body. So basically you use it to input some commands for like directions and stuff, and then the turtle would walk on the screen, drawing what you are ordering the turtle to do, right? So I remember as a kid, like doing some inputs of like turn 90 degrees, and then the turtle would turn 90 degrees. So I was kind of learning about angles, right? And then I was like, okay, now walk for a certain amount of distance, and then the turtle would draw me a circle or something. I do remember liking that game a lot, and it was more like a studying tool, like you were saying, not really a game. How have I been doing? So I wasn't streaming for like a month and a half. I was dealing with some personal things in real life, and it's kind of something that was taking a lot of my energy, and it was taking long to like get over, right? And then until it finally got over, or it ended the situation. It was like a fight with this one friend, and now we are not friends anymore. We were kind of still trying to, get along and everything, but I was seeing that nothing was changing, he wasn't changing, or like I was getting too sad, frustrated, and disappointed with the situation. And I think it was also being kind of toxic to him too, so it was better this way, but of course, it hits you hard as you were hoping for like things to work, and then you had expectations and everything. But even more than that has happened, so I kind of had to take like some break, and thank goodness my life also got to different focuses, especially with like new groups of people, new friends that I have been trying to get more connected. For example, tomorrow I'm going to meet them again. So I was kind of going through that transformation and end of cycles and new beginnings, and I had to take some time to focus on that. And then when you have such life change, you kind of reanalyze everything that's going on in your life, right? And I kind of realized that streaming was also not a priority to me. So I would stream when I really feel like doing it, and then of course keep on playing the games I felt like playing and everything, but without like, I don't know, a certain pressure of like, oh, let's do this. I don't know, a lot, even when I'm not feeling okay. No, that's why I took that break. And during that time, I was not really feeling like returning to streaming, right? Until finally I got a very big desire to play more games. Because in this time I was playing a lot of my Switch, especially with these new friends I have been getting connected to or getting along to. Because for my Switch I have bought many multiplayer games and I'm loving them. Especially Mario Kart. So yes, I was already getting distracted with games with them, but then for the days that I was not meeting them, I was kinda wanting to play something else, something more single player focused. Because the only Switch game I have was Xenoblade Chronicles, and I'm kinda also taking a break from it. And then I was like, okay, I wanna play more games, and then little by little that idea was coming back to me, until I felt the energy and the desire to come back here, because my computer is where many of my games are. And then if I'm here playing games, let's go back to streaming, finish what I have started, and then I'm trying to keep my energy like this so I can keep on streaming again and playing more of the things I want to play. But it's like different now because if I do feel like, I don't know, stopping and, taking my time, focusing on other things, I will. Hence why my schedule has been all crazy. For example, this game used to be for the weekends, and then now I'm not playing this on the weekends anymore. Maybe I won't even stream tomorrow or on Sunday thanks to some things in real life. In general as well, I have been more tired, I have been spending more time outside, I have been sleeping earlier, and those things also helped me to like, not really focus that much on the streams. But for this week, I was feeling like playing games, and then here I am, thank goodness, seeing that I'm doing progression, especially on Golden Sun, because this was making me kind of depressed too, that this game is hard. But everything's alright now, but I needed to get this time right to myself. Happy to see a new RPG playthrough. I mean, this is not... I understand what you're saying because this is like a new game that I'm playing, right? A new RPG that I'm experiencing. But this is already part 20, so I gotta start even more new games, right? Like from part 1. Those are very fun to watch. I appreciate that, man. Have you played this? I don't remember if I asked you that, but probably, right? Because I have been kinda on this game for a while already. Especially with this 1 month break now. Yes, I think it is very helpful and good for practice, indeed, and it does get the attention of especially the children, right? That sometimes they don't care for math at all, but then if you say that they can do something math related thanks to a game, or I don't know, by playing on a computer or by using a computer, then they get more motivated to learn. Ooh, that's fun. But sorry to hear that. Don't worry though. I'm, of course, there is always, I don't know, some scars or like some regrets, or maybe it's just that it's part of life, right? Some things will work out, some things won't. Some people will be this way, some people won't be that way, and then it is life. And unfortunately, this situation was not working out, even though we did try to like become closer and meet more times, although this person is like super busy, and then he takes forever to like answer you or something. So I was like, I'm different, I'm not like that in general, so you know, it was not matching that well. And I was kind of in need to like do more things, have a more active life. And then now I met some more people that are kind of helping me out with that. And that's the new focus now. Hopefully it's going to be more promising than before, but it's fine. It's not the first time it happened, maybe it won't be the last time either. It's life, right? People come and go, people also change, some don't. But it is what it is, and then we learn the lessons. We also learn about ourselves. And the good thing about this whole situation is that it makes things more clear as well, right? That what works for me is this way, not, I don't know, the other way that works for him in that case. Yeah, but having arguments with friends is very hard, yeah. And unfortunately, it was a person that was... You know, also those people that say something but they don't act? It was that case, and it's harder for me to deal with it, because the person was saying that I will try, I will change, I don't know, we will have more balance, and then there was no balance at all. And then I'm also a person that likes to communicate, so when I was trying to communicate and say the things, where was the person to answer me or to check what I was saying? Nowhere. So I was like, okay, this is not working out. But anyway, that's past, let's leave it there. Now the new friends have been awesome, and that's it. Oh, new to you at least. I was thinking you were here before on this playthrough, but maybe not. But 21, yeah, it is a lot of parts. But I'm getting to part 100 at Roller Coaster Tycoon. Only 2 more streams, right? And then we'll finally hit that milestone here. Good luck with that. Thank you so much, man. I do hope I can, I don't know, have more opportunities also to meet more people. But, for example, I was mentioning how I was learning some lessons in this whole situation. One lesson that I learned last year especially, because this end of friendship happened this year, but like, since last year I was learning lessons and from my experiences, right? Especially from the bad ones. But I realized that not many people are like, even like few people are like me basically, or like few people have interests in common with me, or it's very hard for me to really find somebody that, you know, share interests of hobbies and things to do with me. So even though it is something hard to figure out or hard to accept, because it's kind of depressing, right? To try to meet you try to make a new friend or meet a new person, and then you realize that the person is completely different than the things you like to do or like what you were expecting the person to be. At the same time, it is good because I have a clear mind to, like, if I find this one person that likes those things I like to do, then that's where I need to, you know, deposit my energy and, you know, just focus, basically. And yeah, it is like a hard process to like make new friends, especially friends that have things in common with you and like to be more active, they like to talk, and they like to play video games especially, or like go out a lot, not like be stuck at a room and then, you know, never see them throughout the year, or never see each other throughout the year. That's what was happening with this one friend that I was feeling upset about, because I was like, man, it's going to like be the end of our lives and then we are going to not have seen each other many times, you know? it feels like it's been hard to find people that are, I don't know, wanting to live experiences together as well. And at least I have this big desire of living more things, while it's hard because many people are like already with their lives very well established, and it's sometimes it feels like they don't have time to share with me to do something, right? To do some activities. But then again, it's changing. And then I hope I can even meet more people that would like to share and leave some things with me for, I don't know, the upcoming years, right? But I did realize how I'm different than many people I end up meeting. And I somewhat need to get luckier to meet those people that have more things in common with me, right? Especially towards hobbies and interests. But thank you so much, Piero, for the good luck. Things will change once more, and we gotta focus on the good things, of course. And then also, things take time, right? So we gotta understand that it is not like every day things will be alright, or that uh, that opportunities will come, right? You gotta be patient and then stay alert, and then when you've noticed a chance to like meet somebody or make a good friend, then you go for it. Farron says, knowing her powers, Shiba is alive without a doubt. I'm not sure though, but I also think that she's alive. But I can't be as sure as Farron until I see her. I have gotta go to the event now. Thank you so much for stopping by, man. Great to see you, and I do hope that 1 hour challenge becomes great for you. Good luck on that. And yeah, in the future, let me know about your math game and the other projects. Also, good luck with your new artistic game you are working on, right? But take care, man. Have a good one, and I see you then. Thank you so much, man. Good luck for you too. But I can't be as sure as Farron until I see her. Because seeing is believing, right? I don't need fame or fortune, I just want Shiba to be safe. That's what matters, to be honest. Shiba... But are you her mother? I'm not even sure if that's her mother. Actually, never mind. I'm now getting a flashback from something on the game. I do think they told us that Shiba got here in Lalivero, or maybe in Suhala, in one of those two places. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, I'm sorry if what I'm saying is completely wrong, but something in my mind is telling me that Shiba got here, I don't know, falling from the sky or like, you know, out of nowhere. So maybe she's just... she doesn't have a family per se, right? I have the feeling that Shiba just ended up here. But maybe I'm completely mistaken, right? It sounds weird what I'm saying. You are leaving after all, aren't you? And then that could explain, in case it is true, why is she different than the rest of people here? Why is she an adept? And I do think I learned about that when I was talking to Baby the first time, right? Because Baby was explaining as well about the... I don't know, this one village or ancient civilization that magic and psy-energy was more common between the citizens, right? And then maybe that's where Shiba is from. Or at least her ancestors. You are leaving after all, aren't you? Most likely. You are welcome in Lalivero anytime. Oh, by the way, I just noticed something. Give me 1 second. There we go. I was noticing that my chair was like with a different texture on my back. And it's because I forgot to add the cloth, right? Let's see what this kid is thinking. Why won't anyone stop Isaac and his friends from leaving us? Because they can't. We are independent children trying to save the world. What would be the point of coming up here? Another thing I was thinking was regarding the genies we have collected. There is a chance if I swap them around my party members, maybe they could give me, I don't know, a different Psy energy that I haven't seen before. That chance always exists. Man, now those Autobots or spam bots are really posting some wall texts, right? That message was huge. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe testing out or sorting out my Psy energies, not Psy energies, the genies, right? Sorting out the genies to see if I could get different Psy energies. But it's too much work, look at that. Too much work. And I'm not even sure if it would work out. But there is a chance I could end up finding a new Psy energy in there that could help me out. Oh, interesting. We now have a short scene, right? Where are you going, Isaac? Iodem asked us to wait. Did you forget? Yes. We are going to need to work on your memory, Isaac. Work on mine too, because I have been forgetful. We can delay our departure a little longer. Let's wait. Thank you for waiting for me. As you no doubt have guessed, I need to speak with you about Lemuria. So Lemuria was the ancient civilization. That's the word. Yes, the island of the ancients far out to the sea. When you could not find Jenna, thank goodness, you returned to Venus Lighthouse. Yeah, the base of the lighthouse was flooded, so we couldn't get out. Yeah, how did we get out of there? And that's when you gazed out to sea as you promised Baby you would. Gazed out to sea? What do you mean by that? Yeah, and we saw an area wrapped in mist. Maybe that was Lemuria. Oh, by gaze out, he meant like we just looked at the sea, right? I get it now. I was thinking he was trying to explain how did we get down from the tower, right? From the lighthouse? But no, the game is not saying a word about that. I remembered how Baby said Lemuria was always covered in mist. I do love a lot to see the 4 party members there. Pretty much in the overworld, their sprites. And how they look at each other and interact, right? That is such a nice touch that brings me joy to remember of Super Mario RPG. Maybe it was an inspiration that they have done in here. And I don't know, like a reference or an idea they have seen before in Mario RPG, who knows. But I love that, I do get the goosebumps of playing Mario RPG. If it is, then Baby's life... Wait, Baby's life can still be saved, right? Yeah. Then I guess we have no choice but to go. Again, this goes back to that discussion streams ago that I don't think this Babby situation is like fully right, because like death is part of life and what he's doing may not be for good reasons. We don't know Babby completely. For example, he tried to kidnap, and he did kidnap Shiba, so it's like I don't like his doings, or at least I have a big suspicion that he's not a good person. But on the other hand, he's my best chance right now to get a ship, and I would like to have a ship. So I will keep on going along with this shit, but as always, I won't be surprised if there is a plot twist, he reveals to be evil, and he wants to be, I don't know, immortal, and rule the world and everything. But this is not right. Yeah, this is not right, what we're doing. And then maybe, who knows, maybe Babby will even realize that this is not right, and then maybe he can also accept his fate, right? Which is everybody's fate, unfortunately, but... then I guess we have no choice but to go. Yeah, right? I would say no, but because I need the ship, yes. Not to mention that by going to the ocean, maybe we can find Shiba. Although I think we should not worry too much about her, because Felix probably saved her. Good, then it's settled. I will make arrangements for you to leave at once. Thank you so much. But we have to find Jenna first. Okay, regarding that topic, we also don't know where is Alex. Alex is like the last villain from that group, right? From Enardi, Satros, and Felix group. Where is Alex? Maybe Alex was really with Jenna and Professor Craydon, right? Because otherwise those two would have escaped from them, but we have no idea what happened to Alex. That is the other reason I wanted to see you, to give you this. Oh, please tell me it is a new Psy energy. Ionium takes out the black orb. Wait, the black orb. What was this again? This was for the ship, wasn't it? Oh, isn't that... Never mind, I'm not fully sure what was that again. No, okay, so I'm right. It is for the ship. You needed to sail Babby's ship. I thought the ship we saw at Idejima was Babby's. Or Idejima, I'm not sure how to say that. I can only think on Hideo Kojima, right? His ship is here in Lalivero. I know, we went there and you stopped us because no, you gotta go to the lighthouse first, and then later we can navigate and then explore the oceans, right? Yeah, you stopped us from controlling it. So the ship at the peninsula was Saturo's ship. Wait, so the ship we have seen was not ours? Even though that dialogue made it sound it was, and then you didn't want us to actually get inside of it? Perhaps, but we have no way of finding that out now. Yeah, they're gone. But now we can sail the ship of the Ancients. It certainly will aid us in our search for Jenna. Babby told me the ship of the Ancients is an incredible vessel. Wait, is an incredible vessel, there we go. It will make your search for Jenna easier. We appreciate it. But I want you to find Lemuria as soon as possible. Oh. If you're giving me a transportation device, don't expect me to progress. So it's not going to happen as soon as possible. We promised Babby would find Lemuria, we will not fail him. There we go, we got the black orb. How do I have space in my inventory for that? Oh, because Even took it magically, right? The ship is docked at the edge of the town. Oh, never mind. Even did not take that magically. Even used it to carry the Elder's Rod, right? The Hammet's Rod, there we go. Which was also something that made me suspect yesterday, because Menardi and Satyrus asked us to give that rod to them. So it sounded like it was an item necessary for that scene in the plot. I was thinking it was something more side quest wise, as we need to find Lumpa's fortress to rescue Hammett that was kidnapped. And we still couldn't do that. So I was kind of thinking, okay, maybe I still don't have the tools to find him, or I still haven't completed the puzzle and everything. But after what happened yesterday, it made me realize that probably there was no way for me to actually rescue him up to that point, as his rod was like a key item for the plot development. And then unfortunately now we don't have the rod anymore, because this rod will be like important for Menardi and Satyrus. Wait a second. But Menardi and Satyrus kinda died, right? Quotation mark. Maybe that rod is now with Felix? Okay, probably then the rod is with Felix together with Shiba, because they were saying they needed both to get to the Jupiter lighthouse, right? Another reason why I don't think any of those people is dead, because who is going to activate the Jupiter lighthouse then if all of them died with the items they needed and the person they needed? Yeah, they will return, especially Felix and Shiba, maybe with the rod too, right? But yeah, that was kinda good to know, because it made me feel better regarding this frustration of not solving the Lumpa's Fortress puzzle, because probably there was no way for me to solve it so far. You will know it when you see it. Okay. Farewell and bring back news of Lemuria. Only... I don't know... streams ahead, right? Not tonight, hopefully. Unless the game locks me, but I doubt it. Right on, Isaac, we finally get to see the ocean. Just here we go. It's time to depart. Can I also go back to the Crossbone Isle, please? That isle has puzzles I haven't solved. How can I talk to that woman? From here? Oh, I can jump. The explosion in the Venus room is caused Baby Lighthouse to crumble. The works of man can never withstand such mystical power. Island of Toby doesn't seem too disappointed about Baby Lighthouse. It must have just been another whim of that tyrant, Baby. Haha, I thought they had done me in for sure, but I'm all better now. I'm all healed now, but I lost all of my confidence after being beaten by Menardi and Satyrus. Even if I return to Toby, I will never fight again. I will never let my guard down again. We'll be the ones to protect Lalivero from danger. I wanted to be a part of the battle at Venus Lighthouse. You would probably just give us trouble, right? Because we'll need to save you. Where are you going? Are you taking baby ship? Then we should head to that wharf the soldier in town was guarding. I have never seen that word in my life. What is that? A level quayside area to which a ship may be moored to load and unload. Oh, okay, it's like a dock or something? Interesting. A wharf. Okay. This is how English. Wait. This is how games teach me English. I wanna get that though. Are you leaving Lalivero? Yes. I do not know where you are headed, but whatever it is, you do fine. Thank you so much. After everything that's happened, Lalivero no longer feels safe. I mean, nowhere is safe in this world. Shiba jumped into the ocean from the top, the lighthouse? Unbelievable. I mean, it was not the way you were saying because she did not jump, right? Who jumped was Felix. She pretty much fell from atop the lighthouse. Shiba would be fine even after falling from such a height. I hope so, and I think so. I saw the beacon of Venus Lighthouse light up, yep. It was one of the most beautiful sights I have ever seen, although for tragedy, right? Venus Lighthouse has been the symbol of Lalivero since the olden days. The lighting of the beacon may be a sign of good things to come. I mean, for now at least, the worst has ended, right? For now. I can't believe you escaped Venus Lighthouse. What? The tunnel under the lighthouse is not flooded, so that's how you came back, huh? Oh! Okay, so they finally gave us an explanation. I mean, that was actually the way we got there, so we were able to return from there. They just skipped all of it, right? Also, by the way, speaking on the lighthouse, we did get an item in there that was cursed. It was the cursed electric crown or something, right? Thunder crown? Thunder crown, yeah. And then I wanted to bring it somewhere to see if it could be uncursed. I was thinking of this place. Welcome, weary wanderers. What aids do you seek? Cure poison? Repel evil? Remove curse, there we go. So you wish to have the cursed equipment removed, do you? Fear not, none of your companions have any cursed gear. Wait, so I need to equip that, okay. We have dragon scales, right? I was cursed. Yes, from Isaac. 300 coins, that's fine. The curse has been removed from Isaac, nice. Just know that all cursed gear has been removed, thank goodness. Visit us again anytime you need healing. No, it's still cursed. I see, so we need to do this every time we equip it? No, wait a second. Wait a minute, never mind. Subaru was correct. Subaru was correct about this yesterday. That once you equip something cursed, you would not be able to unequip it, right? That's what happened here. This sorcerer actually took the crown from Isaac. And that's what his repel curse thing is. So this is very disappointing. It is a good item though. But the crown will always be cursed. Dragon... Yeah, Isaac is keeping the Lucky Cap because it restores PP, right? Although the Thunder Crown does the same. It does restore PP too, or it does restore PP too. But this one boosts criticals. And it is... Oh, but it's PP recovery plus 2? I don't know. I will stay the way I am because I'm liking the results, right? But maybe in the end the Thunder Crown is better. But this is very sad that I could not get rid of its curse entirely. First, the lighthouse was struck down. Next, Baby himself will be punished. Wait, he'll be punished? Do you mean because of what happened to Shiba? Or because of what happened in the lighthouse thanks to his lighthouse that was like a passage to the Venus lighthouse, right? Baby lighthouse was struck down just as I knew it would be. You knew that? And what did you do to stop it? We wanted to send ships out to the sea to find Shiba, but we can't yet. The ships would all capsize in the rough waters. When will the ocean be calm again? Does this mean that I can't go back to Angara yet? Because, at least not from Toby, right? Because they were not traveling because the ocean was dangerous. This guy is telling me that the ocean is still dangerous. I went to the ocean to look for Shiba today, but it was so rough. Although I can go back to Angara thanks to one cave, right? There was a connecting cave. No one could possibly swim in an ocean that rough. The peninsula behind Venus Lighthouse is flooded. The powers of the ancients are fierce. The ocean is so rough since the peninsula was washed away. They say one strange event invites another, leading to great disaster. Everyone says that Shiba is okay, is that true? If she is indeed the child of the gods, she will survive. Okay, so the child of the gods, so I was correct, right? She came from the skies, like, she fell from the sky. And then somebody rescued her once they found her and brought them here. I realized how thoughtless I was after what happened. Lalivero needs Shiba. We want to believe in something at times like this. If we had Shiba now, I could have relied on her. Was Shiba predicting some tragedy or something? I don't remember that. Oh, we got a lucky mat though. It is a Lalivero salad with potato and cactus. It looks good, but a little spiky. It's spiky. Finding those lucky medals is very Professor Layton-like. That you need to be clicking on every object in order to find hint coins. Ah, Professor Layton, I can't believe I'll have another game from you. You know something that I would love if they could do in the next Professor Layton game? Something that... Now I'm not sure if both 3DS games had that, but maybe. But Totally Miracle Mask, which is my favorite, had. It was like the daily puzzle. For one entire year, you could like get a puzzle to solve every day, right? And then there were like 10, or was it 7? Maybe 7, one for each day. 7 different types of mini games, and then I have the feeling there were more types though. Like there is a variety of mini games, but then every day you were downloading a different level of that game that was kinda getting harder and harder and harder, following the same mechanics for the puzzles. And then it was so satisfying to finish all of those puzzles. And then it was a very good post-game idea, right? So I hope that kinda happens, and then this next Professor Layton game is not only, I don't know, the main plot, you know? I hope there is something extra in there to add more fun. Or even more playtime. Welcome, we just have the gear you need. It is impossible to go out on the ocean now. Be careful when you do. The Champa. The Champa? Who rule the seas are frightful people. Beware. Okay, the Champa. The Champa are people from a coastal village in Angara. Huh. Man, I need more space to write down my notes. So we are going to meet those Champa. Are they like pirates or something? Shiba should be fine. She was fine when she fell from the sky, so I was able to remember that. I was not crazy. The height of the lighthouse is not... Honestly, that does a lot of sense. Or that makes a lot of sense, right? It is nothing to her. Seeing Shiba dive must have been beautiful. Okay, about that sounds weird. Hi, Subaru, what's up, man? Subaru, you were right in the end, though. You were right about the Thunder Crown. The cursed item we found yesterday, right? In the lighthouse. I was right about bringing that to the shrine, right? So they could try to uncurse it. But their holy powers was not to like remove the curse from the crown itself forever. It was actually to remove the crown from my party member that got it equipped. So you were right about that. It is cursed because it stuck in the body of whoever is wearing it. Shiba was a wind adept. Yes, wind adept / lightning, right? Yes. And then I was trying to remember if she fell from the sky or something, and then she did indeed. So sadly, I might not be using the crown because it gets stuck, right, at the person's body, and then what if I need to do some changes, right? Not that it is expensive to like remove it, but it is annoying. So that was kinda sad. But it's still usable, I just don't want to give it to Isaac, because Isaac's current headgear is fantastic, right? We didn't get any trouble or problem in those fights yesterday thanks to that. It seems that the Thunder Crown heals more PPs than the current item. It's like +2 versus +4. But I also don't know if I want to give that to Garrett, for example. It depends. If it is a very good item, I won't take it out or remove it. Yeah, but I don't want to give that to Isaac at least. Isaac is good right now, right? But then giving that to Garrett, maybe? I need to see what Garrett currently has. Shiba will make when the beacon in Venus Lighthouse is lit. Oh, wait. Shiba will wake, right? Not make. Shiba will wake when the beacon in Venus Lighthouse is lit. Isn't it already lit? Then Lalivero will be free from Toby's grip. I hope so. I can't wait until Shiba is back. All of Lalivero is waiting for her to return. Okay, let's check this out now then. Let's consider I'm giving the crown to Garrett in exchange of the bone. And then Garrett got cursed. He had the knight's helm. It's just a helm. Okay, if it is just a helm, then it's not better. Because the Thunder Crown heals PPs. And it does something else too, I think. Yeah, it has 40 plus defense. The only question I have now is if it is also a curse during the battles. But you know what? Maybe it's not. Because remember yesterday that status effect was called or named Haunted and not like Cursed? Because there is a different name, I think that curse is not the same as Haunted. So we might be okay in the battle as well. No, I cannot take the curse out. The only way for me unequip it is if I take Garrett to the shrine. Yeah, removing the curse unequips it, because I can't do that myself. That's the situation. Because when I was trying to uncurse it in here in this shrine, right? Nobody had it equipped, and then this sorcerer said, I have nobody to help out because no one is wearing a cursed item. And I was like, okay, so I gotta equip it to somebody. And then all he did was to remove it from the person. Hi Meowser, what's up man? Thank you so much for the resub. And here's the classic cool cat emote for you. What's up man? How have you been? I gotta say something since Meowster is showing up, and then something that happened yesterday that I did try to check out, but I ended up not being able to, I don't know, understand what's going on. But yesterday, Subaru was using some sound alerts, and then that's what Meowster here made me remember of, because Meowster is like the king of alerts, stickers and everything. And yesterday we had some problems with the audio alerts, right, or the sound alerts. And I still don't know what happened, Subaru. I think only the first one plays, and then the other alerts are kinda not working properly for some reason. Yeah, now Subaru is testing it. Is the first one playing? Because when I was testing, it was kinda playing. Not even the first one this time? Yeah, it is still bad. I'm not sure if it is because they updated the website or changed the layout of it or something. Because when I was looking at the website status for them, it was saying that everything is good. And I was like, no, it's not, because the alerts are, having some trouble to be played. So I'm not sure. Meowster, I'm doing alright, man. I had like a month and a half break, right? Because I was dealing with things in real life. But now I'm starting new cycles in my life, making new friends, meeting new people, trying to be more active as well, being outside more time as well. And during that time, I had to like stop streaming for a while until I could feel like doing it again. As I also realized that streaming was not a priority to me in comparison to the situations I was living, and I'm still kind of living them. But I did feel a lot of desire to play games again. So this week I was able to return, and thank goodness I'm now progressing more on Golden Sun. And then since you were one of the people that recommended me to play this, gotta tell you that I'm enjoying the game much more now. I am getting stuck at parts. For example, the Venus Lighthouse that we completed yesterday, it took me forever to finish that part because I was not finding the answers for the puzzles, even though I gotta admit they were not too bad. It was just my lack of attention or distraction. But once I figured the things out, I was like, okay, this is very nice. Also the battles have been getting super challenging. The bosses yesterday, we took like 2 hours or maybe something close to that fighting the bosses of the lighthouse. And thank goodness we did it first try, because redoing that would take even more time. So basically yesterday a lot has happened in the game. It was tiring because the stream lasted more than what I was expecting, but it was challenging, it was surprising, and I'm liking this game more, I'm understanding it more. Even the genie mechanics and strategies as well, because I came up with a strategy yesterday that sorted out perfectly for the bosses, as they were super OP. I was even talking to Subaru, we were here, since none of us know this game, right, as this is the blind playthrough, we were here, man, thinking that yesterday's fight could have been the final boss, on how hard and challenging it was. And then we were like theorizing, wait, but if this is the final boss, then the sequel of this game that people said that continues the story from where this ends will have the 2 remaining lighthouses we haven't been to yet. We were here theorizing it was the end of the game yesterday. But it seems like it's still not, and maybe this game does have the 4 lighthouses and it completes that cycle, right? But yeah, the game has been super tough now, man. It was just a difficulty spike then. But I'm enjoying it more. But it is still very challenging, both on the puzzles. For example, right now I'm planning to side quest for a little bit, and I don't know if I'll be able to answer any of the puzzles we left behind or we have found already, but I want to try them again. That's awesome, I'm glad that you are doing better, and it's important to realize what you need for yourself and act upon those feelings. Indeed, man. Nani? There we go, at least the sticker alerts are working, right? The audio alerts, I'm not sure what happened to them. Yeah, man, I had to take that time. You know when you go through like something very... Oh, okay, the subscriber stickers are there too. And it's good that you're back, because nobody else kinda spams them like you, so it's good to see them back. But I was saying that sometimes when you go through some life-changing situation, you kinda reevaluate everything else in your life, right? So I needed to have some time to figure out, okay, this is how things are going right now, what's bringing me happiness, what's not, how am I feeling towards things. And I didn't want to push myself like hardly to be streaming when I was not really feeling like doing it, just because of, I don't know, being pressured to be streaming. So I only returned this week when I really felt like playing more games and being here streaming. And then in case I need more breaks, I will take those breaks. In case, I don't know, my friends are, my new friends, right, are calling me to, I don't know, hang out or something, I will focus on that. For example, this weekend, there is a chance I won't be streaming. Most likely, I could be here, I think, on Sunday, but tomorrow I'm not sure, maybe not, because I will be hanging out with them, so, you know. So I needed to kind of, I don't know, start this new moment in my life after everything I have been through. I'm glad that you are enjoying the game more. Yes, I did get, I did get to start understanding why people like it. Of course, it still has some issues, and I still think those issues are mostly in the plot and also in how some mechanics are very confusing and complex. But once you start understanding those mechanics, it feels better. For example, the genies, right? I'm starting to really get how to work with them. And then thankfully people did say that the sequel improves some of those mechanics, so I think the sequel is much better than what I'm playing right now, right? Building out your genies is awesome. I was even thinking and considering rearranging my genies, because I have so many right now that maybe they could give me new Psy energies, right? And those new Psy energies could give me new abilities to solve the puzzles. But at the same time, I do love this configuration right here, right now. But it's been forever since we last rearranged them, right? Do you guys think we should go for that? For like some rearranging and testing on those genies? Of course I will kinda save, or I don't know, screenshot this configuration, because this configuration has been working for me perfectly. Getting new Psy energies is important. It does, right? It does get very complicated. At the very least, I understand too that the game, little by little, as I get to the dungeons, the game gives me items that provide me Psy energies by just equipping those items. So it's not like necessary for me to really be sorting out my genies to get them, or at least to get the, let's say, progression-based Psy energies, right? The ones that I need for sure, and I won't be able to beat this game without them. Yeah, those the game has been giving me them little by little. But I know I can also find more things with the genies I have. Subroutine, I'm not sure if it will change much. Me neither, man. But for example, what could happen if I don't know, if I give Garrett 6 fire genies, right? I have no clue. Maybe he becomes, I don't know, the Fire Lord or something? But I'm kinda with Subber that I don't think it's going to change much. Because at least when we find a new genie and then he's like automatically equipped to somebody, that doesn't change the person that much, right? Anyway, let's keep on progressing, but this is something you could try or test if we don't know what else to do, right? Although Subber is agreeing with me, maybe if I focus every character with a single element, maybe something happens? Or they go back to how they were in the beginning of the game with, in like, when I only had, I don't know, one genie to each one of them? Let's test this once then. Let me give Do to Isaac. He becomes a page. And then what can a page do? Also, what is that button right there? I just found a tutorial for this. Coffee, thank you so much for the follow. How are you doing? Okay, this tutorial of course is helpful, but I think now it's too late. But I just found this. When a genie is set to an adept, its power may change the adept's class. Find your own unique combinations of genies to improve your character's classes. Sanity can change with class changes or when you go up a level. Yeah, they do learn new skills when we level up. So we're saying maybe having 6 of the same element would make a difference. But maybe having 6 of the same element and 1 of a different element won't do it. You're doing great, nice to hear it. I'm playing your favorite game, there we go. This game is very complex, right? Yeah, I'm now not sure if I studied the situation more, like the genies more. I'm kinda considering doing it, but at the same time, I do like the configuration I had before starting to change it. So I'm kinda feeling lazy as well to do it, but I think I should. So I did swap Forge and Do. Oh yeah, by the way, Coffee, I'm thinking you don't know where I am in the game and everything. Yesterday, I was able to complete the second lighthouse, which was Venus Lighthouse, right? So right now, I'm back to Lalivero, and I was talking to some NPCs about what happened to Shiba, and also to how the nature around the city has been crazy, especially in the ocean. And also, Iodem wanted us to get to Baby's ship so we could explore and navigate, right? So I'm at that point in the game. But right now, I think that I will do some backtracking, especially in case I can travel to other places by ship, to do some exploration and see if I can figure some of the previous puzzles I have found before, or if I can side quest more, you know, find new things. I think I'll take some time before going back to progression. So that's pretty much what's going on in the game right now. You said that I'm playing your favorite game. I have this question for you then. Do you prefer this first game or the sequel? Because if you do prefer this first game, you are going to be the first person that stopped by that preferred Golden Sun 1. Everybody else was like, the sequel is better. So everyone was kinda hyping me up for the sequel. Sabri's saying not exactly what I said. Maybe having 6 or 1 of the same element doesn't make a big difference to the character, because it is complex and without an explanation I can only theorize. I see. So we have 2 possibilities, right? Maybe, for example, giving Garrett 6 fire genies won't matter because it will be the same result as only having 1 fire genie attached to him, or it can also matter a lot. I can tell you right now that having 4 fire genies, I think it was not making any difference, because the class changes, they happen when I deactivate, for example, Mist or Squall, right? You see, he becomes a swordsman. This one doesn't even change that. And then turning off one of those fire genies also doesn't change his situation, so I think that kinda answers our question, right? But giving him another do turns him into a defender. So having 2 of water and 3... No, it changes, Subaru. It does matter. But it matters in a way of like having them mixed more than having them concentrated, it seems. Because like 2 water, 3 fire, and 1 wind gives him this set, right? And then he's a defender now, not a page anymore. So it is important to mix them up, yeah. Maybe we should do some testing. This class system is a bit of a challenging, or it's a bit of a challenge without a guide. Indeed, it is very complicated to get that. When you're doing it, yes, I'm going blind. So just go with my guts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This configuration I got to them is very good to me. That's why I wanna save it. Let me screenshot. Just I don't lose this in case I make some experimentations. And I think I will. Okay, I screenshotted the genie setup. Now we can mess with it, and then even though it will be a work for me to redo everything, it's fine. The sequel is indeed better, but you like the first because it was your first JRPG you completed? I can understand that, so it's kinda the one that gives you the most nostalgia, right? That's me with Paper Mario 64, have you tried that one? If you ask any Paper Mario fan which one is your favorite, their answer will be probably the sequel, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, but the first one is special to me thanks to nostalgia. Yeah, I prefer the first game than the sequel that got improvements. The mechanics are better, and you know, people love the graphic upgrade as well and everything, but the first one is my favorite. I have another example as well, Portal. Again, most people would say, oh yes, the sequel of Portal is my favorite because the game is longer and it has more mechanics, you know, all of that. But the first game, even though it is shorter and more simple, it has its charm. First because it introduces you to that crazy world of Portal that's super immersive, and also because you can beat that game in a single day or like in a single afternoon. So it's like watching a whole movie in a day, you know? So you kind of live that whole adventure under a somewhat short amount of time, but those hours were amazing. And you saw everything. You saw the beginning, you saw the middle, you saw the end. And then especially this first contact with that universe of Portal. So the first game is my favorite as well. Depending on their genies, loadout it changes their class and which abilities they have. Yes, that's why I did not set Scorching Breeze for Mia. Because if I do that, Mia won't be able to be using healing magic. And with these settings, everybody can heal. Either by using Cure or by using Ply, right? Yeah, those two right there are with Mia but not activated because if I activate them, she won't be able to heal. So we're saying this is literally a situation that goes from 8 to 80. Yeah, it is all or nothing, right? The character will either become something different or won't change at all. It is usually Tri, Duo, or Mono Elemental that does it. Oh, Coffee has never gotten into Paper Mario, I do recommend it. Yeah, actually the Mario RPG game that came previous to Paper Mario, Super Mario RPG for the SNES, is my favorite JRPG game. It was actually the first one that no, never mind, maybe Pokemon. Yeah, probably I was able to beat Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow before beating Super Mario RPG, right? But it is my favorite RPG game, and actually my favorite game. And then Golden Sun one is pure nostalgia for you? That's great, man. And keep it up, there are many JRPG games out there that are worth checking out. Personally, I also would recommend Persona. I'm a big Persona fan, right? Especially now that you can play Persona either on the Switch or on your computer on Steam, right? Persona is an amazing JRPG. Okay, if Pokemon counts, of course it does. It is an RPG, right? That would have been your first, right? Yeah, it probably was my first too. Even though when I think on like something straight up JRPG, then I think on my RPG, Pokemon also is one. Oh, you did play Persona? Persona is such a good franchise. On your Vita, and you got a PS4 just for Persona 4. Actually, for Persona 5. You see? Yeah, those games are life-changing. They are incredible. Yeah, I'm so glad I played them. And I still need to play kinda all of them again. I mean, wait, let me say this correctly. So I have never played the fifth one myself, but I have watched playthroughs of it, right? Although I have not checked out the Royal version that has more features and more scenes and extra content. Yeah, that one, in case I play it one day, and I will for sure, is going to be blind. But regarding the ones I played, which was 3 and 4, and also the Persona Q for the 3DS, I mean, the Persona Q games, I actually completed them entirely. I kinda 100%ed them. But 3 and 4, I haven't played the post game in the third game, because there is a new chapter after you beat it. It's called The Answer, I think. I have never played that, so that will be blind to me. And Persona 4, I have never played Golden. I have only played the first version, right? So Golden, just like Royal in 5, has extra scenes, extra stuff. I did watch the anime though. Did you know there is a Persona anime? Yes, I did watch the Persona 4 Golden anime, but I never played the game. So I like how I still have unfinished business with those games that I love so much. And did you see as well that we are getting a mobile Persona game called Persona 5 Phantom X? That looks a lot like Persona 5, and then I'm very excited for it. In case you haven't seen those news, check them out. But that game is now only in China, because it's under some testing and everything. Let me see. First of all, let's give Garrett everything. This is probably not going to make a big difference, but just to see what happens. Oh my god, he becomes a champion? He's now a warrior? And then he becomes a champion. Impair, debilitate. Flare Storm. Okay, so giving him every Fire Genie, or Mars Genie, right? Gives him, of course, a lot of firepower. Although we don't get anything that could be useful for the overworld. And actually, by rearranging their genies, what I'm looking for the most are overworld psy-energies, right? For me to solve the puzzles. It seems like nothing there will help him out for that, right? Just to confirm it. Yes, he still has the same ones. But as that was very interesting to see, what happens if I give that to Mia? Like, is she going to become a champion as well? A paragon? What is a paragon? Is that max cure or something? BRB, you need coffee? Alright, coffee. It's funny, right? Coffee needs coffee. Go get it, man. You know the animation exists, but you have not watched it? It is very well done in my opinion, but of course the games are better. Yeah, that's how we get a freaking area of effect heal, right? We were talking about that yesterday. Her attack goes to very high stats, does it? Where can I see that? Status. Oh yeah, it's better now. You know what? Maybe it is not a bad idea to set them like this, right? Again, this is not for this is not for the overworld abilities, which is what I was looking for the most. But their attacks and their stats are very, very good now. Meowser, by the way, there is something I wanna tell you. Have you been checking out this season's animes? Because I do have some recommendations from things I have started to watch. In case you are not following this season's animes yet, right? So he's now a mage? No, he's a magister. And then we are missing one last Earth genie for Isaac. And then maybe he will also get this one is special status, right? Okay, so let's try playing like this. But at the same time, it makes me a little bit worried because... yeah, because only Mia can heal, right? And that's a huge responsibility for only one person to have. Also, by the way, it's so hot in my room. I will drop the temperature of the room. It sounds like, or it looks like, you gotta have at least 7 of each element. 7, isn't it 6? Right now they have 6, man. She does have more HP now, but she's still kinda like weak to some elemental attacks, probably lightning or wind, I'm guessing. Or even, I mean, not fire, right? Maybe lightning and wind. So she can still get very hurt depending on the enemy. So, I don't know. But for some time, maybe we should keep it like this. Let me just save, so I don't lose this. Let me just save on a file, right? The previous configuration I had of genies, so in case we need or we want to go back to that, I can, especially for the overworld abilities that I will need to be using, for example, Avoid. Under this setting, I doubt that Isaac can do Avoid, and I might need that eventually. So, okay, I saved the image I screenshotted. There we go. Yeah, you see, he can't do Avoid, or like, nobody can do Growth, right? She can't do Douse. So there are problems about this. Yes, Persona 3 has movies. Actually, it doesn't have like an anime per se, but the movies it has, it shows you the whole story or the whole game. I actually have never watched them entirely, but I should at some point. Even has a Void? No, he doesn't. He has Reveal, Whirlwind, Cloak, and Mind Read. Yeah. Avoid has an icon of like one person like that with a blue aura around the corpse, right? Or around the body. And then it's not with Isaac. Isaac doesn't even have Catch. Oh no, never mind, he has. Catch and Move, yeah, there we go. Holy shit, look at Garrett's HP now. let's see what happens with the situation like this, right? But I'm a little bit worried. Wait a minute, there is a problem. Okay, never mind, there is a big problem. Only now I realized. No, wait a minute, let me see. Wait. Why do they show Garrett in front of Isaac? Is it because he has more stats now? Yes, we have a problem because Isaac can't use Revive anymore. And then I don't remember seeing that in Mia. You see? Playing without Revive? Why is Isaac an apprentice? Or apprentice? It is the combination of attacks, right? It doesn't really mean that he's like a newbie, but he has all of those genies equipped, right? So he's not weak, but he doesn't have Revive. I say we do some more experimentation here. What happens if I take that out? He becomes a Gallant. He learns Ragnarok, Quake, Earthquake, Quake Sphere, Spire, everything Earth-based. He also gets healing, that's very important. Okay. You see, I'm already liking this more now. Okay, I got Revive and a second healer. Okay, this looks much better to me. Yeah, I can see myself going with this. Just because this one was messing with everything. But let's trade it. What happens if I go like this? He gets growth? Condemn? Damn. He can't resurrect anymore or heal because he's now a brute? And then Garrett is a warrior. Or a page. None of those are good. Okay, give that to Mia. Mia can still heal and she has ice attacks, but then if I activate this, she becomes a hermit. I don't like the hermit. And then Garrett is now a swordsman. Not that good either, right? Wait, she was a cleric? Oh no, she becomes a cleric with... No, she is a cleric right now. Or a paragon in the end. What happens if I give him this? The apprentice is back. If I give him 2, nothing changes. Oh, now it changes into an illusionist. But I don't like that. Give him Forge. Even changes into a Pilgrim, right? No, never mind, a Seer. He can heal. And he got Thunder and Plant attacks or Earth attacks. Okay, I'm getting to the conclusion that this will not give me a very important Psy Energy for the overworld. And then I'm only getting really new classes by keeping them with everything same elemental, right? Because all of those other classes we have seen them before, like Illusionist, Page, Hermit, Swordsman, Apprentice, all of those we have seen and used them before. So I do think I will just set them with the main element of each one. And that's going to be it for now. Can you deactivate Love? Yes, I can. He becomes a mage. Also, hi Yoda, what's up, man? It's better to keep wind or the extra wind deactivated. Yes, I got to that conclusion too, especially on Isaac, right? So in this case, I'm deactivating the Squall. RIP Final Fantasy VIII fans. Also, another thing that I can test is to see what happens if I give Isaac all of the all of the fire ones? Sure. He becomes a barbarian. That's new. He has the revive still. Interesting, he has more variety like that. And then what happened to you, Garrett? Oh, both of them are barbarians now. Can you revive? Garrett can revive. And he can still become a barbarian even with this wind genie equipped. So this is not a bad combination either. Now I have 2 resurrectors and a healer. Oh, but they can't heal, right? Yeah, they can't heal, but reviving is good. What happens if I swap those 2 as well? A scholar? Okay, it's a mix of water, lightning, and healing? Both of them are scholars. A 7th? That's new too. Interesting, what are they now? Healing? Lightning? Water? This is not bad. Now I have 2 healers. Okay, this is the best configuration in my opinion. Every genie is equipped, so they got the boost on their stats for everything I have. 2 resurrectors and 2 healers. I like this more than before, although of course I don't have the crazy ultra attacking elemental power. But as you may know already, in case you know me in RPG games, right? I always prefer playing defensively than offensively, right? So having healing or healing options, having resurrecting options, it sounds better to me. That was a very good idea, Subaru. Yoda is saying turn Mia into a brute. That's probably doable, right? And then Subaru said, you just had to deactivate the extra one. I know, but now I can keep the extra one activated and still like the results. And for keeping it activated, Garrett's stats are higher. Higher than before, I think. Yeah, turn the support into a full hardcore melee badass. Is it by giving her this, I think? Like the fire ones? It is that, right? Mia is the healer? Yeah, but Ivan is also the healer now. Both of them have Wish and Wishwell. Wait, Wishwell is the one that heals the whole party. Okay, I'm very happy with this. No, they have Wishwell. Wishwell is the one. Them both have that. Okay, let's stay like this. And you know what? Probably this is why we were struggling so much yesterday in the bosses. It's because we never really stopped to rearrange the genies and see their better combinations. And then the bosses were super tough. Maybe now we were able to, you know, get improved in our stats in general. I hope so. Yeah, the stats got much better now too, right? For example, those bosses' attacks were taking like 100 or 200 damage off my party members. Now I have like 500 to survive, right? So okay, this was very good, even though I did not get to the result I wanted, which was like finding a new Psy Energy to use in the overworld to solve puzzles. I still don't have anything new like that. But my party seems to be stronger now, so that counts. I'm actually going to save. And now, guys, we are going to be exploring, because I think we can get a ship now, according to Iodem. And then I think I can use that to go else. Wait, to go back, right? To go back to the beginning of the game and then revisit the places. I don't want to progress tonight. But let me finish checking out this place. What did I miss? Have I been here? Yes, I have been here. What is in here? I don't remember you. Baby Lighthouse crumbled when all the land shook. No one can enter now because it is too dangerous inside. Will they continue on or quit now that Baby Lighthouse has crumbled? Do you mean the builders? The workers? Yes, I think he means the workers, right? There is one NPC that said before that if you had many genies of the same element together, it would be good. I mean, yeah, now I could see that. Wait, what do you mean by that? If I had? Or if I have had? Well, now we have that. Do you mean if even Garrett got like a final Earth genie, and then like everybody has, you know, 6 of each element? Oh, okay, never mind. Sabri is saying if there was an NPC that could tell us this, right? As you were saying it, I kinda assumed that there was an NPC saying that, so I do kinda feel like maybe somebody said that in the game. But still... Here's the thing. Once they introduced this mechanic, I do remember trying to keep the, let's say, the fire genies to Garrett, because it is like his what is the word? I don't know, it is his trademark, right? It is the one element that he uses pretty much, even if he doesn't have any genie equipped. So I was pretty much combining that, because it is the one that makes sense for him. But then, as we were also trying to find those Psy energies that could have an impact in the overworld for me to solve the puzzles, and I could only start finding that by mixing them up between everybody. For example, growth. I only figured out growth when I swapped that pattern of like keeping everything like the same for each character, and then I started mixing them up, and then I saw and realized that growth was useful for the overworld. And then since then I never really recombined them or rearranged them to be organized like this. But now I'm seeing that it is very beneficial. And for now I believe I will stay like that. So yes, I think that keeping them with the same element is something that, even though maybe there was no NPC telling me to do that, it is what you would do thanks to intuition, right? Because Garrett is like fire, so of course you give him more firepower. And, you know, you keep on going like that. But then again, my focus is to solve the puzzles. And to solve the puzzles I need more Psy-energies. Yoda is saying level 30, it sounds like we are halfway through the game. Yes, I think so. Because there are 4 lighthouses, we finished the second one yesterday. So I do think we are half, or at the half. No, no one has a void now. Yeah, nobody has a void now. A void was very specific. Yes, it took me some time to figure out a combination to give me a void. I have that on my notes, right here. Never mind, actually... Oh, I do, there we go. Fizz plus Slit. Yeah, if I give Fizz plus Slit to Garrett or Isaac, and if they become defenders, then they learn a void. Yeah, that's like the recipe. I took a note, right, for a void. As nobody's a defender now, they don't have that. It's like the Power Ranger style, because everyone is like one different color ranger. I can see that. Did anybody watch the recent Power Ranger movie, by the way, the one on Netflix? Also, by the way, as well, I was very happy to see that Nintendo really is like trying to be more active in Brazil, right? Not only I was telling you guys this week that Nintendo decided to bring the Nintendo Switch OLED for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, also the Pro Controller, and the game itself to be released officially here next month. But today there was like a big event happening, and it's going to last up to May 12th in São Paulo, of like a 5 meters tall Ganondorf. It's not like a poster, but it's like a Ganondorf made of, I don't know, plastic, I think, or like some sort of hard material, maybe better than plastic actually. But it's like a wall, right? Or a panel maybe, for people to come and take pictures. And of course, like, there was also a link from that game panel as well, and then there was like the logo of the game, everything very big, but especially the 5 meters tall Ganondorf. And then people could go there and take those pictures and also get some Zelda-based cards and also posters for the game, everything for free. So I was very happy to see that Nintendo is like, you know, promoting things heavily in Brazil and making those events, especially the physical events. I hope that somewhat happens in Rio too. If it does happen in Rio, then I will try my best to get there. Although, maybe it's only going to be in São Paulo this time. But yeah, that made me super happy. So not only there was the event that I got the tiaras, right, the Mario tiaras and the poster as well. I can't point. But you guys know, right, the poster, the Mario poster right there. And then now people are getting a Zelda poster. So those news made me very happy. And they didn't say anything, right? Whoever was walking by the avenue in São Paulo, the Paulista Avenue in São Paulo, and then spot that, and then they started talking to their friends like, hey, there is this Zelda thing happening right here. And then only today they said something about it. They were not preparing the fans for it, right? They pretty much said something only when it was already happening. So it got like everybody by surprise. I always wanted a break, but being on vacation all the time is no fun. Wait, did that play? Oh, it's right there. I didn't hear it though, but that's a good thing, right? I didn't want to hear like a fart sound effect. I'm worried that we won't get paid now that the construction has ended. I mean, ended for real because the tower was almost fully destroyed. You finally solved the mystery of the ruins, we did. And I agree with you that it took us forever, so the finally is real. I had no idea these ruins were connected to Venus Lighthouse. The mystery of the ruins should have remained a mystery though. Why do you mean that? Oh my god, that's the unicorn fart. I did hear it this time! Yeah, that one even had the extra, I don't know, funfair, right? For the fart time. Oh boy. You are going to listen to a fart, okay? Yes, mission accomplished, man. You did it though. Meowster, I was kinda asking you earlier though if you have been checking out the animes of this season. Because me and Yoda, we have been checking out especially Oshinoko and Tengoku. Yeah, I would recommend you those two so far. They are going very well, like they are looking very promising. Of course, we don't know if it's going to be a flop, but so far the beginning of those two, I'm enjoying them a lot. Not to mention Demon Slayer. Weren't you also crazy for Demon Slayer? Yeah, I'm liking Demon Slayer a lot, especially because finally the action is going on. I was wondering when the action would start. It has started already. So I'm watching those three and some other anime too. I guess not, you have just been falling back on some old favorites. Don't forget to go back to Demon Slayer though. Yeah, you haven't watched any of the new Demon Slayer? But you were saving it to watch it with your friends? Oh yeah, that is right, you did watch the previous seasons with them, right? Okay, that's a better idea, yeah. But just to tell you that I'm already enjoying it a lot. Especially the first episode, that was 1 hour long. That episode was very good, or like it was with very good animations, right? This is the anime ranking for this week. Oshinoko in first, you see? And then Hell's Paradise. Hell's Paradise was Jigoku Raku, right? The one that I accidentally watched the beginning of the second episode. Demon Slayer is in third. Mashle, I need to start watching that. Vinland Saga, I have heard of the anime's name, but I never checked it out. Kamikatsu, Working for God in a Godless World. Yeah, that's the one that I also talked about the other day, right? That my Pokemon Go friend was telling me how it is like. Loving Yamada at level 999, that sounds like an isekai based on an RPG game or something. The Dangers in My Heart, I haven't heard of that one. Dr. Stone, I also always wanted to start that. And then The Legendary Hero is Dead. I haven't heard of that one. Interesting that Tengoku is not listed, right? Is Tengoku not doing a good job? I did like Tengoku so far a lot. Wait, why is there a guard right there? The content broke apart around the lighthouse and the lands beyond it. Oh, wait. Let me read that again. The continent broke apart around the lighthouse and the lands beyond it are now far from the continent of Gondwan. Will they ever return? Yeah, Gondwan is this continent that we are at right now. I shudder to think what would happen if our town was washed out to the sea. What happened to those living on the other side of the lighthouse? We are lucky that we live north of the lighthouse. If we didn't, we wouldn't have made it. Is this garden here because maybe this is Shiba house or something? I was told to let you in if you showed up. The door is open, okay. This sure seems like a strange place for a baby to moor his... Oh wait, this is where the yacht is? Oh. Oh, I see, so Tengoku is at 12th position? You didn't care much for the kids' interaction inside of the school, but things start getting interesting with those babies? Yes, I agree, Yoda. I agree with you on that. I was kinda... I agree that the most interesting part of Tengoku is not what happens in the school. Like, the outside world exploration is way more interesting for sure, because that's also what they have focused the first, right? To like... it's the part that had the most action, but now that they are also giving us some development for the school, especially towards the babies, the suspense in there and the mysteries in there are also very intriguing, especially for us to be theorizing about. But since the beginning, even when the school was not the focus of the show, I was already very like suspecting that something was very wrong in there and heavily connected to the outer world, right? Especially this one feeling. Although if I start talking about this, I probably will jump into spoilers, but everything's a theory, so I don't know if this is what's going to happen or not in the show, right? So I'm not really sure if it could be like a heavy spoiler. But all I will say though is that since the beginning of this anime, I always felt it was strange or weird how the students in the school looked a lot like the protagonists outside of the school, like their appearances, right? That's all I'm saying, Yoda. And then I kinda wanna believe, or I'm theorizing, that maybe there is some sort of connection between all of those characters and how they look alike. Not everybody in the school, of course, but let's say the school protagonists, right? The school protagonists, they kinda look a lot like the outside world protagonists, don't you think? And then once I realized that, I have been thinking there is something between those four characters that I hope they will of course explain it eventually. I do have an idea of what it could be, but I don't want to say it because it could be, I don't know, a spoiler or something. Save your game, that's a good suggestion. But wait a minute. Maybe before actually checking this out, in case something big is going to happen, maybe I should complete the city exploration, right? Have I really been everywhere? Oh yeah, I still gotta get that genie, and they have closed this? No trespassing, danger beyond this point. Oh, so we really can't go back to Babby's lighthouse, right? So thank goodness we did get those items that were hid. Actually, hid or hidden, right? Both words I think they work. That were hid in those statues by using reveal. Because now I wouldn't be able to return there to get them. So thank goodness I did all of that before completing the dungeon. If Shiba used her great powers, then she must still be alive. But surviving such rough seas must be very difficult. I do think she's still alive. Yeah, it looks like we did check everything. So... what's going on in here? So this house was not available for me to check before? Because I seriously don't remember being inside of this or that this door was locked. But you know what? Maybe it was locked. Did I take a note about a locked door in here? I can't find any notes about that. But yeah, this was not available, right? It's just that I don't remember this house and a locked door here at all. Could that sign be there for another motive? I think that sign is in there. Oh wait, I see what you mean by that. Maybe Subaru? Yeah, maybe the sign could be like a platform, right? For us to jump from one roof to the other and then maybe get the genie. The problem is that I still don't know how to get to where those plants or vines are, right? But you know what? That's a good point. Maybe that sign is a platform that we can use to connect both houses. It's the JoJo Student Arc and the JoJo Exploration Arc. The JoJo? Wait, why the JoJo? I'm not sure if I followed that, Yoda. And I need to go back to JoJo, by the way. What is my usual streaming times? Normally, I start it at 7 p.m. My time, right? Between 6 or 7 p.m. Brazilian time. But don't worry, I'll give you the EST. I think it is 1 hour before that. Wait. Wait, I swear to God that I had the EST times in here. Yeah, but they don't have that anymore on my computer. Why not? Interesting. I'll need to fix that later. And then the old computer doesn't have that either. Okay, I can check that right now. Give me a second. Okay, the Eastern time right now is 7:48, so it is indeed 1 hour behind. So normally I start my streams between 5 and 6 EST, right? Yeah, normally. Sometimes I can get like late at home and then maybe it starts later than that. But yeah, that's my usual streaming time. Something between 5 to 6 EST. Eastern time. Although lately I have been kinda... my schedule has been a mess pretty much. So like there isn't a certain day or exact day for when I'm playing this anymore. Because before, like last year or even in the beginning of this year, I was focusing to play Golden Sun on the weekends. But then I was also getting busy in some days in the weekends. For example, this weekend I'm probably going to be busy, especially tomorrow. So it was also taking forever for me to play more of Golden Sun in comparison to the other games. So I decided to, or I'm testing now, to just pick what I'm playing closer to the days that I see that I can be streaming. Especially if the games are kinda getting behind, right, in my progression in them. So for example, this week I focused more on Golden Sun, and I played Roller Coaster Tycoon yesterday, because yeah, Wednesday is still the Roller Coaster Tycoon day, kind of, right? It is not like a rule that I need to follow, but I still try to, at least for Roller Coaster Tycoon, do it on a Wednesday. But Golden Sun and Sable, which is the other game that I have been currently playing, these two I'm now going from one to the other. So as this week I went for Golden Sun, and in case I can stream in the weekend, maybe on Sunday. Tomorrow probably not, but I will see what I can do. It's still going to be Golden Sun. But then next week I'll need to go back to Sable at least once. Because then I don't want Sable to also be left behind for super long, right? But basically that's how the schedule has been going on. It also depends on which point of the game I'm at as well. For example, we were trying to finish that arc of the second lighthouse here, so I really wanted to focus on that in comparison to returning to Sable, that I would be starting something new in there. But yeah, because now it's been forever since I last played Sable, next week I'll need to play some Sable. Maybe on Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday for Roller Coaster Tycoon, in case I stream in any of those days, of course. And then more to the end of the week, like Thursday or Friday, I could try returning to Golden Sun too. But my advice is to, like, when it gets to like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m, just take a look on Twitch any day to see if I'm live. And most likely if I'm not live around that time, then maybe I won't be live for that day. Or check on Discord as well, that normally I say when I'm going live in there. And in case you end up missing a stream or something, I do upload them on YouTube as well. Like, I save the VODs. Okay, this is the Lemurian ship. It is sunken. So we need to use that item, the black orb. I was mentioning Professor Layton earlier. This song, it feels a lot like Professor Layton. Not anymore. They started this echoed part. Yeah, this is not Professor Layton, but the... I don't know, the sound that's like a... Is it ticking, the word? I'm not sure. But yeah, this part is very Professor Layton when you are solving the puzzles. Let's try using the black orb. Use. There we go, okay. And I'm really hoping we can use the ship to go back to the Crossbone Isle. It looks like it's finally time to leave Gondwan. It's so strange we have been traveling for so long. Now that you are mentioning Gondwan, it's funny how Gondwan kinda only had 3 cities, Toby, Lalivero, and Suhala, but we spent a lot of time on those 3 cities, right? But also, wasn't there a desert to the south that it was kinda cursed? I mean, not really cursed, but like full of whirlwinds and sandstorms that we couldn't really progress through them. And I would still guess that's Gondwan. I think the continent still has more lands to the south that we haven't explored yet. But in comparison to Angara, Gondwan so far had fewer, right? Cities and locations than Angara. Like, Angara had so many cities to visit. And yet it feels like we have only just begun. I think we have only just begun. Maybe past that desert to south there is more. Now that I think about it, so many things. Yes, I was also thinking about that. We spent like maybe half of the playthrough at this place. So we're saying, so you can get a ship. I thought that would stay without one. No, man, they were telling me that they would give us one. I just didn't know it was sunken. It's the ship in the new Pokemon. The ship in the new Pokemon? The ship in the new... Oh! In the anime. I see in the anime, right? Yoda, which by the way, today there was a new episode. I also gotta watch it later. When you were saying the ship in the new Pokemon, I was thinking on the game, like in Scarlet Violet, there was a sunken ship in there. There is a sunken ship in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, right? But of course they need to mention Jenna again. But our journey will be over as soon as we find Jenna, right? No. What did you say? Our next journey? What journey is that? Saving the world? Remember, people in Vale, our hometown, were like, kids or children, we believe in you to save the world. The adults are, I don't know, are relaxing at home. They don't want to leave. You go in their place because you have the energy of the youth, of the young ones. So we're saying, I thought that we had lost everything. Jenna, Shiba, and the ship. So what I thought was that the ship we have found earlier, even before like getting to the lighthouse, and then Iodem was blocking us to use it, I thought that ship was our ship, right? That ship was Baby's ship. But then no, now Iodem said that the ship we have found could have been Menardi, Saturos, and everybody's ship. And now it's probably lost as well, thanks to the tsunami or the crazy washed out that happened, right? And then this is the one ship then, it was hidden in here. Garrett has forgotten for which reason he has started the adventure, right? That's true, he's only thinking on Jenna like every character on this game, but... I mean, I'm not a character in this game, but I'm not thinking about Jenna at all. I don't want to find her. Since you mentioned the word Ruby, there is a character poll for Oshi, and you choose your favorite among the 4 characters. 3 of them got about 30% of the votes each, but poor Ruby only got 3% of the vote. My favorite character in there is Aqua. Yeah, did Aqua win the poll? My favorite one is Aqua for sure. And then I'm guessing that I got many votes as well. Our promise to Baby. Okay, so they are not even talking about saving the world. They are like, save Jenna because we kinda committed to doing that, and then also this promise to Baby, but it's bigger than that, right? We gotta save the world. Oh, Lemuria. I wonder what kind of place Lemuria is. Honestly, it probably looks amazing. I'm guessing it's going to have like a beautiful aesthetics. Yeah, 3rd place is that rival girl who still got... How did she get that though? 27%. Honestly, she's annoying AF. Although you said that this week's episode was about her, so maybe, you know, I changed my impressions of her after I watched the episode. But my first impressions were not that positive, not at all. We have to find Jenna before going to Lemuria, don't we? I don't know. I will say no, I don't know. Huh? Jenna's going to be very sad when I tell her what you said. I don't care. I don't like her. At any rate, this will be our first time on the ocean. So this is the ocean Kraden wanted me to see. The seas are very rough. Do you think we will be okay? Are you kidding me, Mia? Do you remember our trip from Kayle to Toby? If you think that was not like enough experience for us to become pirates or like to become the lords of the ocean, then you were suffering from amnesia. Because nothing can be worse than that, right? So we are totally going to be okay. The ocean itself should fear us. This is a Lemurian ship, we'll be fine. Well, shall we then? Is this an auto trip, by the way? I hope not. Don't send me direct to like progress, right? I don't want to progress, I want to explore. Jenna is waiting for us, we don't even know where she is. How are you so confident that we are going to find her because we got a ship? What if she's, I don't know, flying at the sky? We need a helicopter then, not a ship. And then the opening screen theme plays, right? This is like Golden Sun, the Wind Waker. Let me... oh my... I mean, part of me likes this ending because it means we beat the game without finding Jenna, which is the best ending, in my opinion at least. There we go, these guys never found Jenna in their lives. Good ending. I loved it. Subaru, our theories were correct yesterday, man. The timing was a little bit different though. I really felt like that freaking boss fight was too hard. Damn. This was such a bad ending though. It would have been better if it were happening after that boss fight. Because this was like out of nowhere. You think that she's the new Arakita? Really? Be careful there, Yoda. You are raising my expectations for her now. Arakita is like one of the best characters I have seen in a good time. Wasn't she in the ocean before? Or weren't we in the ocean before? Was it like a lake? There was a river next to Baby's lighthouse. But then closer to Venus lighthouse, I do think there was an ocean at the corner of it, right? It's time to find Sasuke. Man, what the heck was this though? I don't want to progress the game. Really? 1 GBA cartridge for 2 lighthouses? I just think it is a little bit sad that people that bought this game, they didn't know this, right? I mean, I'm not also saying that like this is too horrible. No, but it's kind of bad that the story is not complete. What do I do now? I don't have Golden Sun 2 ready to play. Is this really it? Saver... yeah. You cannot resume your adventure with this data? Carefully choose a place to save your data. I mean, this is the next save slot available? Oh my god, there is more! Never mind, they just used that time to show the credits, but... Okay, it's not over. Maybe it's not over. Maybe the game is complete. But what a crazy moment to show the credits. And then Sabri is saying, paying for a full price for the game. Be careful there, Sabri. Maybe we were wrong. Yeah, maybe we were wrong. There is more. It's time for Sable. Like I was saying, probably next week, yeah. Oh, Kraden, how long will this island continue to drift? Wait, those two got separated from Eve and Alex? I don't know, I wish you could tell me. Sheesh, you are no help in times like this. Sabri saying this is sus. I mean, if they brought us back to the game, it means there is more, right? But yeah, the credits playing there was very strange. Hey, I'm hungry. How can you think about food? Reasons why I hate Jenna. Number, I don't know, 1,000 already? How can you not think about food, Jenna? I wonder what happened to my brother. At least she has a little bit of consideration towards her relatives. I can't be certain, but it looks like they lit the Venus beacon. You don't have to tell me that. That's how we wound up adrift at the sea, right? You are so cranky today, Jenna. No comments. Well, I suppose you must be worried about Felix. I wonder what will she do when she knows or when she learns that Felix was the one that kinda lit the lighthouse, right? Isaac and his friends must have been nearby too. They probably were. I miss them. Isaac, Felix. Oh. There is Alex. There is something I wish to show you. Walk this way. Oh! Felix, Sheba! They are alive. They're alive! What is this, Alex? What happened? It is the end. Oh my god, to be continued. Does this mean that the next game starts with like Felix, Jenna, Sheba, and maybe Alex or Professor Kraden as a party, you know? Oh boy. Okay, so this happens, and even though we had some suspicions about this like yesterday during the boss fight, and then Sabur, I'm proud of that, man. Because that shows you how, I don't know, experienced in RPGs I am already, right? I'm like, this feels like a final boss. Could this game be ending? Look at us getting that. Damn. But I'm kinda disappointed because it would have been better if this game could complete the whole arc of 4 lighthouses. Okay, so there is a lot to talk right now though. Because, for example, I was told clear data. It does clear the data? What the heck? Anyway, I will not think about that, but I was told that there is a way for you to kinda get the first game save file and transfer it to the sequel. I will need to try doing that or research about how to do that for me to like show you guys the sequel of this game, right? With also hopefully the things I have found in the first game. Also, thank goodness Coffee said for us to save because this was coming. So Although we would of course always load the previous save file and fix any mistakes we do, but it's good to have a save file prior to this, so I can maybe go back to the exploration and to the rest of the world and try to solve some of the puzzles that were left behind. But that's the thing, maybe some of those puzzles that were left behind can only be solved in the sequel. And thanks to that, it makes me wonder if it is still worth exploring in this first game, and I kinda have the feeling I know my answer. I think the answer is yes. Because even though some of those puzzles or mysteries or secrets or side quests will only be answered in the sequel because they share the same world, it seems. Or you know what, maybe not. What if the sequel doesn't allow you to go back to the previous cities and it's only about the other half of the world? You know? Because it doesn't make that much sense, right? For example, for you to show secrets in the first game and not being able to complete those secrets in the first game. Do you know what I mean? For example, all of those genies we have seen in the cities. Don't you think it is weird for you to not be able to collect them if you saw them in the first game? Especially considering that by the time this game was released, probably some people playing it didn't know there would be another game for the GBA that would continue it. Of course, it ends with to be continued, but who knows when and for which console? It could be, I don't know, for the Wii, or I don't know, for the GameCube. Subri saying, yes, you did win the final boss or the final battle with the genies not optimized. Another reason for me to be proud of myself. Although we did have a good strategy. Especially because all of my party members could heal, right? Although only Isaac was the resurrector character, like only him could resurrect. Now we have two people that can do it. I mean, I'm saying that considering their Psy energies, but not considering the genie abilities, right? Because if I consider the genies, then Mia could also use one of her genies to resurrect, or try to resurrect. But yeah, that party formation with those genies equipped was also not too horrible. There was logic in there. But this is way better, right? And safer. And then Subway is saying, if the puzzle was there in this game to make the player to waste or spend his time trying to solve it and not being able to do it or possible to do it, then it is BS, right? Yeah, it is very disappointing. Okay, so this has happened. So I think I will go back to the save file before clearing it. Which is this one. And then now I will re-explore by foot. I was hoping I had a ship to re-explore, but no, I don't. You need to buy both Pokemon Sword and Shield to capture the secret Pokemon. At least, Yoda, both Sword and Shield were complete games on their own, right? I mean, I said that, but I don't agree with what I said. One of the reasons why I didn't buy or wanted to play Sword and Shield was because even when you beat the game, it felt so incomplete. It felt like an empty game. Or it felt like a rushed game as well, you know? They don't allow me to go out. They don't allow me to go out. Okay, now this is a problem. I'm stuck. We are stuck, guys. Okay, if we are stuck, and if the game did that on purpose, now I do think the sequel will allow me to re-explore everything. And then they are asking for me to transfer the save file of this to the new game, right? Because then there is no reason for them to make me stuck at the city. Not at all. The world map after the earthquake is only available in the next game. Here's the thing now. I'm not sure if Coffee is still around, because he seems to be the person that would answer the following questions to me, right? As he loves this game and has played this. Maybe Meowser, I'm not sure if Meowser is still around too. But as I don't know, like, if the sequel will give me this opportunity to still complete the unfinished business that I'm leaving on this first game, I think I will like start the sequel once I figure how to make the save transfer stuff. I'm not sure if that's going to be any easy or even possible, but most likely, even if it is not possible, then there gotta be a way for you to play that game without the first game, right? So maybe they will give you, I don't know, generic items for you to start it over. It's going to suck, but at least we would be able to see the rest of the story and the plot, if that's the way to do it. But in case the sequel doesn't show to us that there is a way for us to like get back to previous places and get those answers completed, I could try returning to the first game, completing them, and then, you know, doing the transfer save stuff to the sequel, and then we get to the end of the story. But at the same time that I'm saying that, I mean, it is complicated because sometimes when I play these games in here, I also kind of say that if I missed something out, then we continue without it and we face the consequences, right? And right now, it gives me this feeling of missing something out because there are things I haven't completed, but it's not because I didn't want to go back to complete them. It's just because the game locked me in a way I was not expecting. Or at least not expecting to it or for it to happen now. Because after that boss fight was over, I felt I was okay to explore. So this is a different situation. I don't know if I deserve the chance to like re-explore and do this, you know, transfer thing with more things that I still wanted to look for or look after. Because in a way this is also like a punishment for not doing it sooner, you know? And then I could also accept it. Like, oh, you took forever to explore in the game, so you are not going to be able to do it anymore, and then you gotta play the sequel without the answers for what you have missed. And regarding that, or that idea, I can take it too. Because it is like, how would I know that this was really the end, you know? Subri is saying that I still think that an SNS game could do much more in a single cartridge. This is like in those modern choice games that you can't reload except redo the whole playthrough. That sounds a little bit like Fire Emblem, right? That some of your characters can die permanently and stuff. But yeah, this has happened, and unfortunately, I'm like without a clue of what's going to happen next. Let me check something though. Do I have the second game already? I think... Wait, maybe I do. The second game is Lost Age, isn't it? I do have this game in here. Is this the sequel? Golden Sun? The Lost Age. I think it is the sequel, yeah. It is the second game. Okay, I do have it in here, but I don't know how to do the save stuff, right? Let me see if I can find that answer. Wait, there are instructions in here. I'm not sure if they will work, but let's try. Okay, so this is the sequel. Yeah, so Felix is the main character? Let me try this again. I'm trying to follow the instructions. I couldn't do it. Wait a minute. Yes, I have the feeling this will be more complicated than just doing this, right? Oh, wait a second, there is more, maybe? Is it like this? No. Because what I'm reading right here says for me to, or tells me to hold down L and R at the black screen with the Golden Sun logo and menu at the bottom, and then I need to hit left. Oh, it's left. I was hitting right. Sorry. I did it! Wait. Yes? A password? How do I get that password? Select the level of password to enter. Wait, what? It is thanks to a code? I bet it will work. I hope so, Yoda. It seems that we can do something, but I don't know which password it's saying. It said level... We were at level 30, right? The level of password to enter? We'll need to go back there. There gotta be... Wait, let me keep on reading this website. In the send menu, you can pick one of the 3 save slots to send. You can only use a finished game file, so if you didn't complete the game, you'd better gotta move on. Once you pick your save file, you have the option to generate a password or to send the data to another Game Boy for link cable. The password option is much less straightforward than the cable option. So that's the large part of what we're going to show you, okay? You have the option of a gold, silver, or bronze transfer, which corresponds to how much data you will send, and consequently how long your password will be. It is really that big a deal? You bet it is. A gold transfer has your level, genie, stats, items, and coins at a cost of a password that is 260 characters long. A silver transfer is only level genie and your stats, and it's only about 61 characters, and a bronze transfer of your level in genie is a meager, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, maybe meager, 16 characters. Please note that these numbers may be unique to the finished game file we test with and may not be the same for all games. Golden Sun to be released in North America on April 14th. While you're waiting, check out their profile for Golden Sun The Lost Age. So, did you get what it said? It said if I wanna really transfer everything I have done, it's going to be a freaking 260 characters long password. Why is this not really helping me out to do it though? There is a video on YouTube. It is 20 minutes long. I kinda have the feeling I should do this offline. Or at least try doing this offline, right? And then in case I can do it, then I start this game's next stream with that working. Because this is looking very depressing. Yeah. It is a kid's game, right, Yoda? Oh my goodness. We need some water for that. Oh, it is obtained from the first game's menu? Wait a second, so okay, we can get that. Not load, wait. Open Golden Sun. Okay, but here comes another question then. Should we progress by leaving what we have left behind? I think we should, right? Because, okay, if the sequel is actually getting all of those details, like genies, levels, stats, and stuff, then it gotta allow us to really complete the whole experience, right? Man, at least I'm hoping. So as the first password is gotten here, wait, where is the send menu though? The first game send menu. Send menu? Battle. There is no send menu. Subway saying I would need to start it from zero to do anything because I can't leave the city. There is... Oh my god, you are right, man. I cannot leave the city even in my earliest save file. It is correct, because that was also saved after we beat the boss, right? That is true. It is also my bad because I saved the clear data in the one save file that was outside of the city. Anyway, we are continuing the playthrough then, and we can only hope that we can do the things we did not in the sequel. Okay, let me continue reading that because I was thinking the end of that instruction was the same for the sequel, but no, it's still for this game. So the password is obtained from the first game send menu, which is made of... Okay, so let's go back. It is kind of the same, right? It's like this. That it is. This is the password. We are doing this! And actually, I'm happy there is a password to do it, because otherwise I don't know how would we do it, right? Okay, so the best way for me to do this is taking screenshots, right? So let me get some organization in here. That's the first screenshot. Page 2. Page 3. Wait, yeah, there we go. Page 4. Five. And finally 6. And Yoda, you are so right, man. This is totally a kid's game. Oh my goodness. Even for you to transfer the data, there is a puzzle. It is hard. The mechanic sucks. But that's it, right? We have like six pages of code. This is another reason why they shouldn't have divided the game. Well, let's try it now, shall we? Now we open Golden Sun 2. And you know what else sucks? How would people know this freaking code for you to like the secret menu? How a normal person would know how to activate that? The game never explained it. Because it is hidden, right? I can't even do it anymore. Why is it not doing it? Oh my god, I can't do it. Maybe it is in the game's manual? It must be, right? At least there. There is a hidden menu in the first game, and then they keep it hidden in the second one. That's going to get the code from the first. Yeah, I can't do this anymore. What am I doing wrong? Let me reset. Also, I'm sorry for all of this. I kinda knew something like this would end up happening, because people did say that you could transfer the data from one game to the other, but I didn't know how to do it. And I was not thinking it would happen tonight. I cannot activate it anymore for some reason. The other direction I tried. It is like both triggers, and then both triggers they are not keeping it anymore. Why? They were keeping the screen with the Golden Sun logo, but not anymore. Is it the B button? Oh, it is the B button that keeps it at that. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, hold L, R, left, and B. That's what I'm trying. I don't know why it's not working anymore. The keyboard is not set to this, is it? It's not, it's the joystick. It makes no sense because I could do it before, right? I will try something else. Let me close the game and everything and then reload it. Okay, let me go back here. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll need to also change OBS a little bit again because it doesn't capture the game's window that easily. Where is it? Right here, okay. There we go, right? Yeah. You guys can see it, right? This time I was able to keep the Golden Sun logo still by just pressing the triggers, not the B button anymore. Hey Chill Mode, what's up, man? Which button is B on this Play 2 controller? This one down here. It is the one that cancels, right? So I'm erasing the letters right there. It is the B button. What does the U stand for in my name? Wait, the U? Which U? Have a good weekend, Papa. Thank you so much, Chill Mode. I'm hoping it's going to be great, although the weather has changed, so it's probably going to rain, right? Yeah, I'm trying to press the triggers first, and also left. But then I press B and then nothing happens, you see? Oh, the urn right there? No, that U is together with R and N to say urn, right? The urn. and it's just like an alternative way to say D-Run, right? But misspelled thanks to the excitement. No, this is not a wireless controller. Are you kidding me? This is cabled. This is an OG look at the cable. No, I'm still OG, man. Wireless controllers, they need batteries and stuff. Can't deal with that. Man, why is this actually happening? Could it be because, I don't know, it created the previous save in the system? And then maybe I need to erase that? Could it be that? Let me check it. Can I find anything like that? Oh yeah, there is a save in here for some reason. Is this what's bugging me right now? I erased it. I have a suspicion that's the reason. Can I do it now? There is no save file in the system anymore. Even though I haven't started the game. No? Really? I will try something else then. I'm closing this. Probably there will be a saved file in the battery system. There is one. Erase that again. Then open the game. Right now, Chill Mode, we are trying to jump into the sequel of Golden Sun, but surprisingly, I was not expecting the first game to end today, and then I was not expecting the way you can do a save transfer between the first game to the second game to be this hard. So I'm trying to get everything I have done in the first game to the sequel, but it is this complicated, basically. So that's what's going on right now. But then now you guys can't see the game, right? Yeah, I cannot believe this is happening and how difficult it is, right? But we are progressing. We know it's doable because in the first attempt we almost had it, right? Yeah, this is not really changing it. What am I doing wrong though? Yeah, it is a wired controller, shout out to it. You buy 3 a year? Do you mean 3 wired controllers? GG, well played. Thank you so much, Mode. Yesterday ended up being the final boss fight. And then today they showed us the credits and everything. Golden Sun, such an OG game. It is the Camelot Software Gaming. I hope I can play Mario Tennis, Mario Golf at some point. Those are other Camelot games, right? My controllers sound like the McDonald's drink straw somehow. You mean the sound effect? The ASMR? I do like the controller sound effect, by the way. What I mean by that is that it is an ASMR that I like. The sound of controllers, right, being pressed. L, R, and left first. ASMR is legit, I agree. Sometimes it's very relaxing to listen to that. By the way, I just noticed that. Let me try showing that to you. the logo has Golden Sun written in there, of course, right? But I was thinking, why is this logo kinda like the same as the first game if this is the sequel? The thing is that I believe that under the Golden Sun, in red letters, it has the Lost Stage written in there, but with like horrible pixels. You cannot read that perfectly, right? But I think it tries to say the Lost Stage in red letters in there. Right there, it is so bad. It is impossible to read that. Can you see that? But yeah, guys, I don't know why is this not working right now. A typewriter? Do you like typewriter? Wait, typewriter ASMR? I prefer the controller though, or mouse clicking. Yeah, sometimes mouse clicking can be very relaxing too. What are you trying to wall hack? I need to use a password that has 260 inputs to mode for me to continue the adventure of Golden Sun in the sequel with my items, my genies, my stats, my coins, everything I had in the first game. Summer is trying that at his house too. Yoda has watched the YouTube video and the Felix name is not removed when the YouTuber did this. That's a good advice. But sadly, every time I press B, it starts deleting the letters, right? Unless it is... No, it is left, it's not right. Would somebody go back in the VOD to see how was the screen when it happened in the first time? Like, was the cursor on the Dell, on the end? Does it matter? Not that I think it's going to be very helpful, but... What the heck, Subaru? It showed Isaac instead of Felix? Subaru, which password did you use, man? Did you find the super special ultra password for this game to be hacked like that? Man, what? Yoda, give me more information, anything helps me now. What the heck? How can it not work anymore? I was thinking it had something to do with the save file that was created, because in my first attempt, the system in the computer had no save file of this game because I never opened it, right? And that's why I'm suspecting it worked in there. But now that the game creates a automatic save file in the computer, that automatic save file could be bugging this. But it's just a guess, right? But it makes no sense, to be honest. I was able to get to the secret menu in the first game, and it had its save file and everything. Why is it not working for this? The cursor doesn't move, but I need to press left. But was it when... I mean, you said it was when Felix's face and the name was being on the screen, right? It's funny how the website says that I should be pressing that before I see this. Like there. Maybe I should check that on my phone. By the way, Yoda, there is a new episode of Masho that was out today, according to my anime app. Wait, there is true. In this video that I'm watching right now, sometimes it changes Felix into... Oh no, okay, I see, they are naming every character, right? They are naming Felix, Shiba, Jenna, and Alex. That for some reason in this game he's called Beers? Was it after all of... Is it after all of them? I don't remember checking them out. But I will try that. There we go. It is after the Felix screen. Because this guy went through all of the characters to find this. Yeah, Subaru got it too. Confirm Felix, right? Yes, I saw it too. There we go. Jesus. Alright, there we go, guys. We got this, finally. Sorry for the struggle, but it is what it is for us to be able to do it, right? Okay, so here comes the freaking password. I'm going to read it out loud, and in case I'm getting the wrong input, you guys tell me on the chat, right? So pay attention on it with me. Gold, A, Q, H6, N, this thing that I don't know its name, 5, H, A, the equal symbol, U, percentage, M, W, F, Z, I, X. Oh my god, X? What comes after X? X? 5! That's great! Z? Then Q? Where is Q? Right there. QV? C? CU? 9S? X. X again, but the big one. E. S. 53. MC. U5. AXI. NU. EK. That was wrong. I saw that I did it wrong. There we go. D. E2. U. Y. And Z. That's the first page. Second page. Nobody said nothing on the chat, so I get that I did it right, hopefully. Okay, second page is this one. Q. N. K. RR. 7Y. I was thinking about kind of cutting this or editing this when I upload this on YouTube, but I think I will actually keep it. Because in case someone watches the playthrough and then is like, how do I freaking transfer my data? You know, this is the whole tutorial, and they struggle in there as well. So I will keep this. Maybe this helps somebody someday somewhere. Then J. JW. E. But I think I will cut it, right? I mean, I will not delete it, but I will cut, so we can have like 2 episodes, one ending Golden Sun 1 and one is starting this game. Then question mark 5 QF Z W MJ Michael Jackson. Billie Jean, Billie Jenna is not my lover. She's just a girl that made me play another game because she can't be saved at all. Bum, 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 bum. 4 percentage F and E3 that was cancelled this year. V9 GG GG and it's GG with like how is this? I forgot how to upper key, right? Upper key. GG and then F. That's quite fitting, right? KM X DX. Now it's calculus, right? MX DX XZ E, and then one of the characters of Oshinoko, I. There we go. Then X. No, it's X uppercase, right? So it's this one. J R 4W. There we go. Page 2 completed. Page 3. 3B. ZW. So we're saying was in the second row, actually not row, in the second line, right? Were there many uppercase letters or algorithms? Yes, all of them. JWET. All of them were uppercase. Insert that aimbot to mode misses cheat codes. Every old game had them. Like Mega Man, I remember Mega Man X passwords. Oh, MJ, heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and for the entire human race. That song, I'm pretty sure I heard it, but I can't get the name of it or the melody anymore. Hack that thing, sir. We are kinda doing that, right? Oh, by the way, let me check something again on my phone as it is 10 PM my time. It's very, very quick. No, I don't have anything in there, okay. Back to this. 3BZLL. Then 7 ZM WH I have a question. Do you guys know of any other game that has done this same thing? Like, the game is not complete on its own, and then you need to buy, I don't know, the sequel or something? Do you guys remember any other game that does the same? I can't. And I'm not thinking on those PlayStation games that had many CDs, you know, but you could get all of those CDs at once. And I also don't think that Final Fantasy VII Remake counts because they are dropping it in parts, but we are aware of the parts, you know? I think this is the first time I see something like this being done. But I also don't think it is the only game that has done this, right? Probably there is another one that has done the same. Oh yeah, Yoda is mentioned in Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I kinda don't think it is the same because although they do have full price, right? Every part has full price. But the thing is that they sell it already telling you that it is part 1, part 2, right? This game is like Golden Sun. And then you have no ways of knowing if it is complete or not. But I agree that Final Fantasy VII Remake is kinda the same thing. But to like forgive them, they at least say on the title that it's part 1, part 2, so you might need to get the other parts. It is this thing again. Then UT D and then question mark. And then it's R. So right now, my biggest hope for all of this password really is that I'll be able to go back to previous cities and continue my exploration, right? You know something else that I'm thinking and wondering? What if this game is actually shorter than the first? Because it's still comparing what's going on right now with PlayStation 1 games like Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX and all. And even Xenogears. Sometimes the second or the last CD, the fourth CD, they were way shorter than the first one, right? I mean, this second game is kinda getting a whole cartridge for whatever it's going to give us, so it's probably not going to be that short, but it could also be short, right? Imagine if it is like, I don't know, only 10 hours long in a normal run of, I don't know, casual player, which is not my case because I'm slower. I'm a slow player. That could also happen, even though this game could give us new areas to explore and maybe even return to the previous places. The plot part of it could be shorter than the first one. Just like some CDs or parts in Final Fantasy games. Man, I really hope that I'm getting all of this right. We have equal symbol, J, percentage, R2, then we have PT, PTU, plus, and 8. Okay, that was it for page 3, right? Page 4. You are talking like Qui-Gon or something from Star Trek? Do you mean the letters that I'm typing? This password sounds like that? Qui-Gon from Star Trek? And by the way, Two Modes, you remind me of something. I mean, it has nothing to do with Star Trek, but it has something to do with, like, sci-fi. Black Mirror. Netflix has released a trailer for Black Mirror. Black Mirror will be back soon. Maybe they had the date in that trailer, but I now can't remember when is it going to be dropped. But actually that trailer did show a lot. Like, I had the feeling the trailer showed way more than it needed to show, right? And I do hope I forget some of the things I have seen in that trailer, because then it won't ruin the episodes when they are out. So be careful in case you watch the trailer. I do think it shows too much, but it is looking like traditional Black Mirror with like lots of crazy situations happening and messed up reality, right? Combined with, of course, messed up technology. So Black Mirror is coming up and I'm down for that for sure. Love me things that destroy my mind or like my brain. It makes me wanna, you know, kinda suffer from like what I'm watching because it is super messed up and disturbing. I like that. So if you guys are Black Mirror fans, it's happening. No, wait, that's wrong. That's 6 right there. No, it is 4, 3, R. Okay, so it's 3, then R. Do you guys like Black Mirror, actually? Final Fantasy VII, they best released the second part. Didn't we get the second part? Wait, really? We only got part 1 and then the Yuffie DLC? Man, I was thinking part 2 was already out. Those are fat games though. Give me that old school Lego block 3 discs in one game. Wait, there were Lego games for the PlayStation? Probably, right? Oh yeah, there were Lego games for the PlayStation, I just never played them. I say that because the other day I was talking about the Harry Potter games. No, never mind. I don't know if there were Lego games for the PlayStation, but there were Harry Potter games for the PlayStation, yeah. Gonna play that remake still though? You love that game? Yes, Final Fantasy VII is amazing. My favorite still, regarding the Final Fantasy games. It is Golden Sun. It doesn't say it's Golden Sun Part 1. Indeed! And then I think that's kinda misleading, you know, for whoever buys the game. Tales of Symphonia, the sequel, does that too, Yoda? Seriously? But if it does that, it means that there is a third Tales of Symphonia game. Is there one? Tales is cool, big time RPGs? Some people were hyped for that because it was released on the Switch this year, right? I mean, it was something interesting for me to try playing. Also, unfortunately, when I streamed Tales of Symphonia, I was playing it on my old computer, so the frame rate was not the best. Like, some people did notice that during the battles my characters were not as fast as they should be. But thank goodness it was still playable, so we could play it up to the end and beat the game. But I do think that if I could have played that game on this computer now, the new computer, the experience could have been a little bit better. It was a good game, but I gotta say it was not like something that was too remarkable for me. Not like something like Chrono Cross, or some of the Final Fantasies, especially 7. Or, I don't know, Bug Fables. Bug Fables was also a big surprise. I enjoyed that game like since they start, from beginning to end. KQ 25 and QL percentage AU. That's an interesting question. I think I never asked you guys this. I mean, maybe it is something that could also be hard to answer, but I'm curious about any possible answers you guys might have. Do you by any chance have a favorite game I have played on the stream? It's hard maybe to decide, right? Maybe for some, for example X5, probably his answer would be Digimon World, I guess. And maybe Subber would say Chrono Cross? Not sure what Yoda would answer for that. Wait, J, right? Right here. Then this one. A. K, P. This one. EX. Okay, let's go to page 5, which has Are you real? Are you for real? RUE JP, are you Japanese? Exclamation mark. JP, Japanese. It's answering the question, right? JPZE. This thing again. PU. Money symbol equal T money AD4. Then we have Z this thing again. FJ. FJ4. FJ4 equal K N 8S. Then we have EQT DJ, yes. DJUX. Wait, it's the uppercase. There we go. MN. M&M's. But it's this one. B. Z4. I don't know why I said Z4, and the sound of that reminded me of a character from Cosmic Star Heroine that we all loved. It was like the robot Beetle. How was he called again? I have the feeling his name was with Z, right? That character saved my ass in that game. Yeah, he had a weird name with Z, right? Zizor, wasn't it? Zizor? I mean, I think his name was like impossible to read, but I decided to call him Zizor or something. No, wait a minute. Zizor was the other character. Never mind. It was the crazy blood guy, right? Yes, I forgot the Beetle name. Tales is cool, big time RPG, but Tales of Symphonia is still a full game. Golden Sun is not. But Yoda is saying the sequel of it. I didn't know that the sequel of Tales of Symphonia had an open ending, or like it was not completed. The first game was complete, yeah. I mean, it was complete, but it had a scene that was like, you know, very open, and then probably they answered that situation in the sequel. Xenoblade took over a miniature. Wait, do you mean Xenogears? I'm confused. Xenoblade, actually? We need more of them Japanese games into English and Portuguese, because they do games correctly, alright? And then this cheat code doesn't play around, indeed. I do hope we get everything correct in the end, though. How many pages? There are 6, yes. No, we are getting there. Creativity is always cool to see. And then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is scheduled for late 23 or early 2024. Rebirth is part 2? Rebirth is looking good. Final Fantasy VII is Chill Mode's favorite game. Give me Barret. Yeah, this code better work for sure. This is T5. Actually, we are finishing it, because page 6 has almost nothing. Let me complete it. K7 S. But Sabro, what did you say about when you were testing this at your home? You read Isaac? You meant only Felix's name, right? Not really... Wait, that's an E, right? Give me a second. Is that an E? It is. You don't mean that his portrait was there, right? Only Felix's name. I mean, it was Felix's picture with Isaac's name, right? Okay, that's it for page 5. Last page. D, DX, DX4, EH, question mark, KI, C, CH. Invalid password. That's the password though. Let's go back and compare it. Yeah, page 6 seems to be correct. Wait, how? There we go. Page 5, RUEJP exclamation JPZE. That thing PU money equal T money again AD4. Z that thing FJ4 equal KNHS EQT DJ UXMNB Z4NT5 K7S9E. Yes, that is also correct. Page 4 now. TLH equals 6 4 3 R money S HAABM QAFR hashtag VFLWZ KQ25N QL percentage AU VREYI 6GJ. Wait. Okay, I found it. It's in here. This J is lowercase. There is another mistake. That thing AQP equal EX. Okay, let's go back then. Three BZWL 7ZMWH P exclamation mark 7SWBADVU. That thing UTD question mark RNDUR DSE money Y double C Y hashtag E equal J percentage R2 PTU plus 8, right? This is a plus, not a T, right? Yeah, that is a plus to me. So this is correct. Next is page 2. QNKRR set. Okay, I found the mistake already. Please be the last one, right? 7Y